Hi everyone, it's Kirei here for Hey Little Magpie, and I have a brand new layout using the fun Echo Park Mouse and Me collection. And I'm also using the new Hey Little Magpie embellishment kit for May. So for those of you who don't know, I worked for the Disney store for 23 years in head office. So I just had to have some of this collection. And I did have some photos from a recent catch up with my old Disney store team in March. So I knew immediately that they would be perfect to go with this collection. Now, I obviously have a Disney connection. So, using these papers is a no brainer. However, it really doesn't mean you have to, because this collection is really, there's so much in it about sort of friendship and fun and getting together and being together and celebrating and things like that, that actually, if you're just a Mickey fan or a Disney fan, you could use this to go with any photos of, getting together with friends or going out, with a group or something like that. So yeah, I think it's really quite versatile, and I'm sure sometimes you could probably overlook it simply because it is a Mickey themed collection. But you know what? It can work for so many things. It doesn't have to be just Disney. Okay, I've got the pattern papers here. So I've got the yellow one, the grid sort of style in the background there. It's called Dreamy Stars. And then I've also pulled it out the one with the red stripe. It's called Adventure Mouse. And I've got the three strips in the background I'm going to use as my background. Now, I did play around a little bit with adding, I was going to mix up the pattern paper strips, but it all felt like it was too busy and too much. So I decided not to go with that. I've got my two photos, they're mounted. And then I've got the sticker book here. And I don't typically go for stickers because they're much thinner, and I quite like to sort of add texture and dimension to layouts, and I want to be able to curve up the edges and things like that. However, this sticker book is fabulous because they're like cardstock stickers. So you get 8 pages. So you get loads of stickers, like icon stickers with little phrases and things like that. But you also get some like journaling spots. You get some long strips. And then there are 2 pages that have alphas on them. So yeah, it's really actually really versatile. So actually, I was really happy that I did pick this to work with the collection. Okay, because I wanted to add something else as part of my embellishment clusters, and I've obviously got all the stickers, and then I've got the decorative brads. So I decided to just make some little layered flowers. I just drew these shapes roughly. They're not brilliant, but and then I just distressed the edges, and I did a larger one and then a smaller one, and I've obviously just layered them up together. And then I've pulled out the decorative brads, and these are your traditional style brads with the little prongs at the back. And I'm going to add those into the center of each of my little layered flowers. And then I'll add those to my embellishment clusters. So the idea is I'll have an embellishment cluster over on the right there, sort of down the right side, and then I'll add another embellishment cluster around, down over across sort of to the left of my photos. So I'm just pulling in the stickers, and these ones are specific. They say like, hello friend, adventures with friends create the most magical moments. You've got a friend in me, and they all just work perfectly for obviously to my photo. And like I said earlier, it doesn't have to be anything Disney related like my photo is. So you wouldn't know. It could be a group of friends. That this collection would work for that too. So yeah. So right, just layering the brads up. I have to say, when I first went to get the brads off, I pulled them up because I just thought they were stick-on brads, but they're not. They're traditional brads, which is quite nice because actually they really hold those flower layers together. I didn't really need to stick them together in the end. Okay, so I've pulled in. I've one more to do. I hadn't decided on the colour. And then, as you can see, I've layered in my stickers. I'm switching those two around. And then you'll see the fabric stars that I've got there. Now, they're from the Hey Little Magpie embellishment kit for May. And there's lots of fabulous goodies in it, as always. In fact, that tray at the top there, you can see all of the elements. So there's some ribbons. There's some sort of grungy like rulers, and then there's little buttons, star shape. There's more fabric stars. There's a charm, there's some bright coloured little tabs, and then there's some little metal embellishments. Yeah, there's all sorts of different bits and pieces. So I'm definitely adding a few bits into this layout. So I've got the stars in the white and then the red. My awesome title is also in the embellishment kit. Excuse me. So that was perfect. And then there's a little camera charm as well. And I do add that just where I'm working at the moment. I just sort of stitch that onto my layout to attach it, just tuck it in under next to that "You Make Me Smile" sticker that I've just added. So I'm just working through, obviously getting things stuck down. I'm adding a little bit of foam tape behind these here because they're sitting to the side. And then I am getting there. It's really just a matter of working through. Oh, I hadn't decided on this star. That's right. So I thought I was going to we'll use it up the top, but I decided to bring it down the bottom instead and just tuck it in there. Some more foam pads just to add that dimension there on that sticker, and I'm just doing the same on this one as well. So just at the top edges. Again, it's just, for me, it's just about creating a bit more dimension in my layout, but obviously that is, personal preference. Some people would prefer to keep things more flat, particularly when you're wanting to get them into albums. I certainly don't get as many layouts into an album as I'd like, just because I obviously do a lot more sort of layering and dimension. Okay, so adding my little Mickey at the top there. I've got another brick star from the embellishment kit. I'm tucking in there, the red one. Then, okay, moved on a little bit. So I've got everything, I think, stuck down now. And then I'm bringing in some more of the decorative brads and I'm just adding those to the clusters. So I'm just picking out a few. So I've got this one there has a tiny little Mickey on it. Then there's like a plain red one. So yeah, I'm just adding a few of those into the embellishment clusters. Oh, and I'm just adding my little phrases there that say "good stuff" and "always wish upon a star." I've raised the yellow one with foam pads. And then I'm just working out where I'm going to add a few more brads. So building that in. So literally with this collection, I did only have the sticker book and the decorative brads to work with, but you can do so much. Obviously, I had the embellishment kit from Magpie, and I dip in and out of them on every layout that I create and pull out bits and pieces that I know will, that work on my particular layout. So they're particularly great for adding a little bit extra. So yeah, and then these are just little like circles with stars on them. So I'm just adding those as well to my clusters. But I'm getting there. I'm sort of nearly done. Just figuring out, as usual, faffing around with where they're all going to sit, but I'm determined to get them in. And then I've got my camera. Oh, I just picked it up, I think. There it is over to the right. I thought I was going to have it a little bit higher up near the awesome, but I don't. I do stitch it to the bottom near the "You Make Me Smile." And then what is next? The alphas. So you can see here, there's a pale blue and then there's the red. And I bring in the pale blue with time. And I decided to look at that. But then I do decide, should I use the red? But I felt like the red was a bit too much and I stuck with the blue. And then I'm just going to layer it here, but I will add foam pads to each of them actually, and then get that stuck down. And then I will add my journaling below the title. And then I am almost done. I don't think, oh, do I add anything else after? There might have been an odd few little stickers that I added at the top of the top layered flower, actually little circular stickers that I just felt I needed to add a little bit more a few more pops of colour at the top. But yeah, but I'm really happy with how this turned out. I do, as I say, I love anything Mickey. So to be fair, this was definitely a collection for me. And yeah, it was perfect with my photos. So, but as I said, just any fun night out with your friends, this would be a great collection for that. So I think the final layout is coming up. Here we go. There we go. And then you will see the close-up details. There's the little camera that I added from the embellishment kit. Yeah. So I hope you've enjoyed watching the process video, and I will see you again soon in my next layout. Bye for now.